Hello, in this video I'm going to go over types of damage in the Elder Scrolls Online. I've already covered status effects, and so I thought it would be a good idea to cover types of damage in the Elder Scrolls Online. So let's get into it. There's an easy way to kind of understand this, and I'm going to use the champion tree to help me out in this video. If you go up to the DPS branch here in the blue tree, just past the extended might portion of the arm out here onto the fingertips of the mage or whatever this is in the background here. These are the four types of damage that are in the game. Now, I will tell you these two right here are usually an either or, and these are usually an either or, meaning the damages pair together based on those two conditions. Now we'll start here with the deadly aim. This buffs your single target damage. Now that would be anything from a light attack or something that is a single target, such as, for example, the Jesus Beam from the Templar, the Radiant Oppression or Radiant Glory. That is a single target skill. So something else that you could consider single target. Whenever you see something here in the tooltip, it says enemy. That is a single target skill. Now there might be something down in the tooltip. For example, if you have the Bloodlord Sacrifice on, then this will hit in an AoE on your third cast. But that doesn't change the fact that this is a single target skill. So what I'm going to show you is when you hit something with it like that, or when you hit something in that, and see, I'm only hitting the one guy. Now, if I put on my Blood Lord Sacrifice, or excuse me, Grave Lord Sacrifice, confusing it with the Mythic, there you can see the AoE. And that's what the Grave Lord Sacrifice is doing. It makes the third cast hit in an AoE. So that's a condition of where you can have a skill do both, is sometimes it'll say something in the tooltip where it will also do damage to enemies in an area around it. Another really good example of that is the Warden's bugs skill, the infectious swarm. One of the morphs, the stamina morph, you apply it to the one enemy, but then the enemies in the area around it also take area of effect damage. So there are some unique skills that can do both, but in most cases, the skills are typically either or for the area of effect and then the single target. Now, area of effect is just what it sounds like. This right here, the Wall of Elements, is an area of effect. It's not targeting the enemy, it's hitting in the area. Specifically, this one goes on the ground. You can still hit in the area, and as you can see, those two things there are area of effect. Lightning Flood is area of effect. It's not tied to one enemy, it's hitting everything in the circle. And so that's what area of effect is. So that's the first two types of damage. So you want to pay attention to those. And just as a general rule, typically single target skills hit a lot harder than area of effect. And the reason why they do that is because area of effect, it's just super easy to hit a bunch of stuff with. So that's kind of the trade-off. You get the area of effect to hit a lot of different things for a little bit, as opposed to the single target. You can see right there that hit for quite a bit. If I hit this guy over here, it hits for over 10,000, plus it applies burning. Well, these ticks right here, it's 1,500, so it's quite a big difference between a damage or an area of effect and a single target. Now the other thing is this is direct damage because it's hitting instantly. That's another reason why it's a very large amount of damage, is because it's hitting instantly and then it's over. With a damage over time, you're going to get a lot of damage per cast, meaning by the time it's done, you will have done likely more damage than a direct damage skill, but it takes a lot more time to get the damage out of the skill. And so those two skill types are here. Thaumaturge buffs your damage over time, and Master at Arms buffs your direct damage. So an easy way to remember this is damage over time. Damage, just like it sounds, takes several instances of damage over a period of time. Direct damage means instant damage. Try it and remember, if you're trying to tell somebody to be direct, do it quick, do it to the point. That's what this is. Direct damage is instant. It happens immediately. Now, one of the things that they changed in the game recently is they made beam damage direct damage. And in my opinion, that makes absolutely no sense, because beams do damage over time. That doesn't mean it counts as damage over time. I'm not trying to confuse you there. But when you go into this tooltip and you look at, for example, the Arcanist Fatecarver, and you look at the very bottom of the tooltip, it will say this ability is considered direct damage, even though it is something that does damage over a period of time. So that, I think, is a really kind of silly and an odd change that they did. But I can tell you the reason why they did it is because they were having a large amount of problem with the set from Layers of Marceloc, Layer of Marceloc, excuse me. This procs off of damage over time, and everybody and their grandmother was running Arcanists, including me. It was fun running Arcanists with Azure Blight and just running through trials and dungeons, ripping a new hole in them. So instead of changing this or adjusting it, or, well, they did both actually, to be truthful. They also added this very bottom part here. They can only be damaged from one seed at a time, and it requires 20 stacks per group member wearing the set. So rather than having multiple seeds explode, and also making it so where everybody, for example, if you were to run 8 Arcanist DPS with that set on, you would have to get an insane amount of stacks in order to get an explosion to go off. You'd have to have 160 ticks of damage to get one explosion with this. So it is really a terrible, terrible thing that they did. I think it didn't make a whole lot of sense. I think the better change they could have done with this is just make it not apply to players, and just to let people have their fun in PvE trials and dungeons. I don't really understand nerfing something in the game for PvE. You're basically killing your player base, and after they've bought your game and everything, and then taking a fun aspect of the game away. People can complain about that all they want for PvE stuff, and my rebuttal for that is, if you don't like that, then don't use it, don't run it. It doesn't affect you if somebody else plays this game in a PvE setting, and don't come at me with leaderboards. That's just I don't care about leaderboards. And I'll bring up a topic here at the end of the video here also. Um, Leaderboards are not that big of a deal. You get a coffer with gear. Um, I mean, and they change every patch. They wipe them. So a big deal. You get your name on a list. This isn't the old days where you got a high score on a pinball game. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me to destroy the PvE game for that. So what it did is it made the damage explanation really, really confusing. I don't agree that beam damage should be direct damage. But because they did that, we just adjust and we wear stuff like the Tideborn and the Great Sword from Maelstrom Arena, and we'll buff the damage that way. So that's what we're doing now. So I don't actually think that it achieved what they were trying to do, because DPS is still extremely strong, and hopefully they leave that alone. But I want to go over this just really quickly one more time. Direct damage is Master at Arms. That means it's instantly and then it's done. The flail from Arcanist, for example, is direct damage and area of effect. So these two can be true. You can also have area of effect direct damage. You can have single target direct damage, single target damage over time. You can have, it's either these two paired with one of these, basically. So hopefully that's not too confusing or convoluted. I am going to end the video there, except for two little closing things. First, I believe that they need to create a mode in the game for veteran trials and dungeons, so that you can go in, and maybe not dungeons, but anywhere there's a leaderboard instance for veteran content, where you can go in and learn mechanics, use your armory if you want to, all of that stuff without a leaderboard condition, but you can still learn the mechanics, earn some gear, and maybe not get a leaderboard condition in there, but perhaps they could make it a training, or I don't know what to call it, but I think that's what they should do. The last thing I'm going to bring up is I have a new playlist on my channel. I'm not sure how many of you have noticed it, but I got kind of bored with these two events, the Witches Festival and the Writhing Wall. There's the event that will not end. And so I started to make AI-assisted music that is themed around the Elder Scrolls Online. They're pretty catchy songs. I made videos for them with some artwork and imagery to go along with it, and the lyrics are on some of them. The first videos I did, I wasn't quite learning how to do that yet, so some of the videos have lyrics and some of them don't. So going forward, I'm probably going to have a better product going forward, but check that playlist out on my channel. I'll put a link in the description. I know it's kind of off topic, but I'm trying to drive a little bit of eyes to it, because I think if you give it a chance and listen to it, and you like this game, you'll really find it appealing, because they do have very deep, thick lore lyrics to them. If you read the lyrics and then kind of think about what the song is about, I think you really will enjoy it. And even if you don't know the stuff about the dungeon or the song subject, they are pretty catchy. So take a look at them. I did create them using multiple AI programs. It's not me performing in the videos or anything like that, but I did do all the work creating the song and the videos and the artwork and all of that. I put it together using several different tools, and the ideas did come from me piecing together all that stuff. So give it a look if you like it. Let me know. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.